Street America was founded, it says 45 years, but it's a little bit longer than that because it was in the 70s, and I know I'm a 70s baby. But to help strengthen downtown areas and communities, as well as commercial districts. And the reason was back in those days, there was a lot of folks leaving and going to the suburbs. And so this Main Street America was formed to aid in the growth of the downtown communities. And if you can see all those little dots, those are all Main Street communities, so that they abide by the Main Street America Foundation. Who we are, Main Street Petersburg. We're 501(c), and we are strictly volunteer-led. So like I told you, in my normal life, I have a job. But this is also a job that means something to me and my stakeholders. But the premise is partnerships with businesses, our residents, other community organizations like you all, and most importantly, the city, of which is the city of Petersburg. And our work is organized in 4 pillars. The first is organization, and that really is one of our biggest things, is how we're organized and how we work the other 3 pillars, which is economic vitality, promotion, and design. Our board of directors, myself, my hair's grown since that image, Sergey. And Sergey is our secretary, and he has been instrumental in Main Street Petersburg. He's been a member for many years and was former president, so we lean on him a lot to learn. Nancy Cox, she is our secretary, our treasurer. Demetrius Frazier, he's a business owner and a board member. He owns Resist Books bookshop in downtown on Sycamore. And someone I think you all know in this room, Rachel Hirsch, she's also a board member and also a business owner in our community, Evermore Bridal. And Shanika McClellan, she is a board member, but she is an executive director at People's Advantage Bank. So you can see we have a broad group of folks. And our mission really is dedicated and to improving and revitalizing our downtown community and preserving the history that's rich here. We have a big footprint, larger than most Main Street America communities. Our footprint covers not only downtown, so Sycamore Street, but all of Old Town, and extends to Halifax Triangle, to the Appomattox River, and then west 95 to Market Street, and then it has like a little space, and it again goes back to that Halifax Triangle. And so here are the 4 pillars and the basic foundation of each of those pillars, and we break them up into committees. And the first one is fundraising, volunteer engagement, and again, organization as a whole, that's supporting that downtown and the city's growth. Design, we focus on historic preservation, facade and streetscape improvements, wayfinding and signage, which I'll get into in just a moment, and then public spaces, pocket parks, if you will. Economic vitality, which Rachel is very much involved in, and we focus on a lot of support between our business owners and the city, and helping be that conduit to hopefully express needs or ideas of how we can move forward. recruitment and retention of other businesses, not to be confused with what the city does in economic vitality. Investment readiness. And then under promotions, events, special events. We just hosted our first in late 2025. We just hosted our first restaurant week, and it was wildly successful. In other communities, they might have 30 restaurants, but they've been doing it for a while. We had 14 participants. So, and we had some nice community support from other businesses. So that felt really good. Downtown branding and storytelling. So we aid in getting those messages out in conjunction with the city. And then, of course, hopefully increasing foot traffic. I knew that was going to happen, sorry. There we go. Increasing the foot traffic to our downtown footprint. And so our goals, we just had our planning session. One of our biggest goals is to grow and strengthen our board, but also our committees. So if you're interested, I'd love to chat with you about that. And we are also really focused on hiring an executive director to hopefully help us get that organization buttoned up. Design, we have a carryover line item from 2025. We were part of Crater Planning Grant. It's a mouthful, so I have to slow myself down there. The city was granted this grant because we are a Main Street community. So our partnership is with the city here. And it was wayfinding and greenscaping and facade improvements. So, excuse me, the wayfinding meaning we are getting new signs. You may have seen some of the downtown new signage, new colors, and new look. The idea is to, draw traffic and direct folks where to park, where to go to the visitor center, go, to points of interest like Blandford. The casino is a big one now that they'll be shuttling back and forth. And then one thing we identified is, as you may have noticed, we decorated for Christmas. Not we as in Main Street Petersburg, but the city of Petersburg decorated early October. And I don't know about you, but it was beautiful. It was stunning, and it felt really good and alive to be downtown. So in our planning session, we identified that there are some areas downtown that should be lit decoratively all year round. And so that is part of our initiative for 2026. So economic vitality, supporting businesses quarterly with some roundtables. So Rachel and her counterpart get together with the businesses and conduct what we call a business roundtable. And that's a carryover from 2025. Just simply getting together and bouncing ideas off of one another, expressing what our plans are and how we can help those businesses thrive, because that really is the end all be all. Without those businesses, we don't have a downtown. Well, we have the buildings, but we don't have the energy and the people. And then we are going to be putting together some sort of welcome packet to new businesses that come to town. But we have some oldies but goodies that also need to be welcomed because they've been around and they've stuck it out. And then promotions. We're going to be hosting our second annual restaurant week, working on some website enhancements and also bulking up on our social media exposure. So one of the biggest things, overarching goal with Main Street Petersburg is forging strategic partnerships. So, working together and smarter Main Street really can avoid, or well, all of us can avoid duplicating efforts if we all know what one another is doing, and identify maybe some strengths and weaknesses across the different organizations, and then hopefully supporting one another. And we we have access to funding that maybe another organization doesn't, or we, like I said, have a strong suit in some strength that we could help fill in gaps where needed. So one of the, again, overarching themes is to introduce ourselves to the many organizations, and hence why I'm here to share with you all about Main Street. So the downtown revitalization, happens with collaboration, stewardship, and a shared vision. So I'm excited that there might be a potential of some sort of partnership or just alliance, if you will, with the Rotary. So thank you again for having me. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. I'll leave some cards with Rachel so that you all can vote and we can talk after. Thank you so much.
We have some questions.
Okay.